Imagine this for a moment. You're sitting somewhere in the world, listening to music from a Disney film, and a few seats away, someone else is doing the exact same thing. Different country, different language, and different life, perhaps. But for a few minutes, you both feel the same emotion. That's something I've always found fascinating about Disney. It has a very unique way about connecting all of us together in the most unusual or unexpected ways. It connects people who will probably never meet, or if we do, we will hit off in a perfect pitch. And today, for International Friendship Day, I wanted to explore that idea in a different way. Friendship may look different around the world, but Disney has a way of giving us stories that people everywhere can connect with. It doesn't matter from anywhere in the globe. It reminds us all that we are all the same. Because we are not alone. I'm not alone because I've got a very special guest. She's not only a coworker of mine, but a great friend who happens to be one of my fans. So welcome to my show, Makayla, and thanks for being here.
Hi, Jacob. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
Well, I'm very excited for you, and you definitely are one of the good choices to have on here.
Thank you.
So, when you think of Disney and friendship, what comes to mind for you?
I think of all the different characters who seem to be like polar opposites from each other at the beginning, but then in the end, they always end up being an unexpected dynamic duo. I was thinking about like Carl and Russell from the movie Up. They were completely different, but then they ended up being pretty friendly. A dynamic duo, if you will. Or Marlin and Dory from Finding Nemo. He was a little grouchy and stressed out, but Dory was just full of life and energy and forgetful. But it also makes me think about when I was growing up and being so excited to have a sleepover with one of my girlfriends and waiting for the new Disney Channel episode to air that night. Whether it was Hannah Montana or Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, there were so many that we looked forward to.
Those are the movies I kind of grew up with in a way, even though I was a teenager. But yeah, I can connect that with you.
Cool.
Yeah. When you mention Carl and Russell, who says you have to be of the same age, right?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I like that because they all have a different answer depending on when they grew up with Disney, how it shaped them, basically. And it sounds like both Hannah Montana and The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and then Finding Nemo, they all shaped you in a ways.
I guess they kind of did. Yeah, I've never really thought much about it, but yeah.
Well, at least for me, it always feels like Disney friendships aren't just about characters getting along. They shape who the characters become, and examples like Simba and Nala growing up together in The Lion King, or Woody and Buzz start off being antagonistic, of course, and then they become best friends, and like the song, "You've Got a Friend in Me," right?
You're right. That's such a good example.
Yeah, I think it is too. But on a more unusual note, like Lilo and Stitch, it starts off being on paper, but then it works because it's more of emotional based. What are your thoughts about it? Just different friendships.
I think that's just part of how Disney goes, honestly. I feel like if everyone's working towards the same goal, in the end, they can make a robot and a girl best friends, or a girl and a dog, or anything. Or aliens!
Or a bunny and a fox, too, right?
Yes! But they do a good job about that.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the good ones. It was one of the films that opened me to learning more about the actress behind Judy Hopps, Jennifer Goodwin, believe it or not. Because prior to that, I learned about her from Once Upon a Time. And her playing a Disney character, even though it wasn't Disney.
I didn't know that that's who that was. How funny. Okay. Gosh, you're so good with the names, Jacob. I really don't know anyone's names, but I would probably recognize what they're in, I bet.
You know, it's funny you say that because I honestly don't feel like I'm very good with names myself in real life. Because,
Really?
well, because, like your friend, for instance, it took me a couple of times to get her name right. And then the reason I remember your name pretty well is just because we see each other a lot.
I guess you're right. Do you remember my friend's name right now off the top of your head?
Yes, her name's Kaylee.
Good job. See, you're great. You're great with names.
It's funny how the two of you kind of have a name that almost blends.
I agree.
But, yeah. Oh my gosh. It was kind of an interesting take, too. It's like, I didn't know she liked that show.
Yeah. See, then you guys made a connection, an unexpected connection. That was cool.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole point of Friendship Day.
Exactly. And that's exactly why those stories stay with us long after the credits roll, perhaps, right?
That's right.
One thing I've noticed is that Disney is one of those few storytelling worlds where friendship isn't limited by what you'd expect. You'd have like a lion and a warhog again from The Lion King, and then a human girl. Oh, and a snowman from Frozen. Robot and a teenage boy in Big Hero 6. And somehow it doesn't feel weird when you're watching it. It feels normal. Question for you. Why do you think that is?
I guess, kind of like what I touched on earlier, I think it feels normal to us watchers because typically the characters are all working towards the same goal in the movie, whether it's saving somebody or getting something back. But we also get funny moments where Disney reminds us that some of the characters are just built differently from each other. But kind of like how you mentioned, what is it, Olaf? The
Yes.
snowman? Okay, so like his nose melting off or falling off because he melts, stuff like that. But Disney reminds us that some of the characters are built different and they still treat each other in the movie like it's something normal that they'd see every day. So basically telling us that we can still be friends even though we have tons of differences. And maybe some very obvious differences. Like age with Russell and Carl.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. It's not really having any limits or boundaries or anything like that. It's more about what we can try to make that we can take with us, and if it applies to the same standards, like if it clicks, then great. If not, I guess we just try something else, or maybe it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Whether it's coworkers or college even, it just seems like the majority of times it shows us something simpler underneath all of it. It's that friendship isn't just about being the same. It's about choosing to just understand someone. And honestly, I think that's true outside of Disney too, of course, when I mentioned those examples.
Mm-hmm. An example I could think of outside of Disney that showed that so good is the movie The Breakfast Club. Did you ever watch that?
I think I've heard of it, but I honestly don't think I've seen it.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, tell me about it. This is cool.
Oh, you should totally watch it. It's a classic, but it's basically like maybe 6 people that are from all different groups in high school. So there's the jock, there's the stoner, there's like the smart girl. They all have detention the same day. So then they all end up bonding because they're trying to like just have fun in detention. And then you see all the different personalities come together. It's a really good movie.
Oh my gosh, The Breakfast Club, huh?
Yes, go and watch it.
All right, well, you got my attention. I will say that. That's
Cool.
Imagine walking through a Disney park alone, and every character that you pass is speaking a different language, but somehow you still understand what they mean. Whether it's a smile, a wave, a moment of shared laughter, and to sum that all up, you don't really need translation for that, right?
You're right. I feel like Disney has always had a way of showing characters' expressions, I guess. Maybe it's the art style, the mannerisms, but everyone can connect just fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think Disney does a great job doing that on a global level, and Walt may have been ahead of his time in doing that versus everybody else.
You're right.
All it is just turning emotion into a shared language. So I have to ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think Disney friendships or real friendships in the same way, they all each and equally feel more powerful because they're tested? Because some of them don't start off perfect.
Ooh, absolutely. I feel like even friendships in the real world strengthen sometimes after they're tested. I feel like the more you go through with somebody, whether it's good or bad or chaotic, anything like that, stressful, the more bonded you can feel to that other person. I don't know if you've ever had that experience, but I have, and it could turn out even better than before.
I can agree with it. It makes sense. And this is going outside of Disney just for a little bit, but there was a movie called The Blue Collar Comedy Tour, the movie. Jeff Foxworthy has said this. The funniest things are what you do not make up, but rather it's the true stuff. My perspective, taking from Jeff Foxworthy, and now we're going back to Disney, is that I think all of it has more to do with what is true that makes it more accurate and makes it more what you can connect with. It makes sense, and etc.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for example, you take Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde in Zootopia. They initially don't trust each other at first. Judy might have been more untrusting of him just because he was a fox, but I think Nick just wanted to evade her and make fun of her for being a meter maid. But initially, they challenge each other, of course, and all of that. And I think that's what makes their friendship so interesting. They don't become friends because they immediately understand each other. Their friendship grows because they challenge each other's assumptions and slowly learn to see beyond them. To this day, I still find it hilarious in that scene where she says, "Wait, we gotta beat the rush hour, and it's night!"
What? I don't remember that part. How funny.
So, yeah, he tested her patience at least 2 or 3 times. One of them had to do with, they went to a nudist club.
Okay, got it.
Oh, yeah, and the second one had to do with when they went to the DMV and the sloths going super slow.
That's my favorite part of the whole movie. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. Probably mine, too.
Okay, I remember this now. How funny.
Oh, yeah. Talk about testing friendship that meets reality. Yeah, over time, of course, you and I both know that their relationship becomes one of mutual respect and genuine friendship. It's not immediate, but it does have to be rebuilt. Something I've been thinking about with International Friendship Day is the idea that friendship doesn't always look obvious at first. Sometimes it does grow slowly, and as the Lord's famously said, he works in mysterious ways. So in a similar way, it will surprise you, and sometimes you don't even realize it until later. What kind of example do you have to talk about that?
You know what? I agree with what you're saying. I was thinking, just like you and I working together, we hardly even see each other during the day, but we've still always connected through our little quick conversations and laughs. Even if it's only 5 minutes at the end of the day, it ended up being an unexpected relationship or friendship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. And then we ended up finding out that you and I have unexpected mutual friends. You playing poker with my dad. Can I say that?
I'm laughing it up, but yeah, go ahead.
Yes, but that made me like even more connected to you because I was like, wow, he knows my grandpa, he knows my dad. Like it's just such a small world, and that was crazy. And now I'm a guest on your podcast for Friendship Day, so it was just so unexpected, and it surprises me now that we're at this point in our friendship, and 3 years ago I would have never even guessed. But I'm very happy it is the way it is.
Yeah, me too. No regrets of how it started out or the fact that I continue it with them, but yeah, it all worked out that way, whether we thought it otherwise or wouldn't have it any other way.
Aw, well, good. Glad the feeling is mutual.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I like you a lot.
Thank you, Jacob. I like you too.
And your dad and grandpa as well.
Aw, thank you.
The big question I always have to keep coming back to is, do you think that storytelling like Disney actually helps people understand friendship better in real life?
I feel like I've never given that much thought either, but yes, I think it does. Disney shows us that friendship isn't always about having things in common or similar interests, kind of like what we've been talking about, but it shows us that something unexpected can turn into something special the more we look for it, or the longer the friendship lasts.
I like that answer a lot. Time, love, and tenderness, maybe. Or how But yeah, it seems pretty fitting for International Friendship Day, I believe.
Mm.
So, what I love about this conversation is that it just proves something very simple. Friendship doesn't need to look the same everywhere in the world to be real, and Disney, in its own magical way, reminds us that over and over again. You get different worlds, characters. I'll leave it all with just one final question, not just for you, but for anyone listening. What Disney friendship made you realize that connection doesn't depend on similarity?
I feel like in the 2000s, they came out with a Disney Channel original movie called Lemonade Mouth. Have you ever seen that, Jacob?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so that is very similar to another movie that is not Disney called The Breakfast Bunch, which I also love. Wait, The Breakfast Club? No, The Breakfast Club, The Breakfast Club. I was thinking Brady Bunch, my bad. Anyways, but that is about everybody who is a part of a different group in high school all comes together and has like the best time, and then they form a band, and everyone is so different from each other, but they rely on each other so much through the movie. The poor girl's cat dies and everyone's there for her, and there's just so many like heartaches, and then everybody loves each other and is really good friends in the end. But they were not similar at first.
Yeah, I agree with that. In fact, it's funny because when you were mentioning the Breakfast Club in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of what you said did have similarity. I was able to connect the dots and think, I think they're similar in a way, aren't they?
Yes.
So, if you and everybody enjoy today's conversation, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to vote in this week's poll. I always appreciate your perspectives. They help all of us continuing learning together. Thank you for joining me in Jacob's Guest Lounge, and thank you for being part of the conversation. Tune in next week as we dive into redemption. If you enjoyed this episode, follow Jacob's Guest Lounge wherever you listen to podcasts, or visit www.loungewithjacob.com to explore more episodes. And if you, like Makayla, know another Disney fan who might enjoy these conversations, I'd really appreciate you sharing the show with them. And until next time, keep exploring the stories and keep noticing the connections all around you. So keep the magic alive, and I'll see you all back here in the lounge.